Lunch, she was good, eh, Monsieur le Shérif? The glaze bazar. Formidable. Now, you must continue your searchings, yes? Or Mademoiselle Sonoma will have your head upon a silver bladder. Ha ha ha, Monsieur le Shérif. Do not make the interrogations. I have the plans, as you know well. And I quiver like the pudding at the thought of them. Bon chance, Monsieur le Shérif, and happy hinting. Au revoir.
Say, Johnny, giving Jackalope that ring was right decent of you. It got me thinking, maybe you'd like this. Vandy gave it to me. He was out here last summer attending to them poor Indians. Seeing how you was so smart and all, I figured it might just could help you. No problem. What all's happening? Me and that old dry stick, the mayor's wife, had a few words. You should have been there. Her eyes got big as pie tins and her face redder than Levon Dead Nettle's union suit. Before you go, you might want to speak with Ruby. Something's up with Nate Trotter. Bye, Johnny.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta wash my hair. How dare you speak to me like that? Just wait. When the kid... You think you're so smart, tricking me like that. Just wait. When the kid rides into Diamondback tomorrow, he'll fix you, but good. You lousy skunk! I'd have forgiven you, but just wait. The kid's gonna shoot you, and I hope he does it right down there on Main Street. So when you're lying on Main Street bleeding, I can look down and laugh. Ha! Goodbye, Sheriff. Enjoy the day. It'll be the last full one you'll ever see.
Sheriff, am I glad to see you. You've got to do something about Nate. He's carrying on like a crazy man. For the last 2 days, he's been mopey and wompy-jawed. I've tried cheering him up, but it didn't do any good. This morning, he was talking no sense at all. He just keeps on playing his dead wife's flute. Don't ask. It's a long story, but I can't help him. Please, you've got to do something. He's at the docks right now. Thanks, cowboy, and hurry.
Sheriff, I've got a serious problem. It's Nate Trotter. Listen. He's playing that flute like a madman. My diagnosis is delusions and melancholia. I can't leave him, and he needs medicine quickly. You must find some for me. For heaven's sake, where do you think? The apothecary. Here's the prescription. Get Mr. Watson to mix it. Goodbye, Sheriff.
You finally have a prescription, Sheriff, but I can't fill it. Sorry. The kid's coming for sure. They say he'll be here with his gang by, tomorrow afternoon. I'm out of here.
The prescription is correct. Now, I must administer the cure. Please, come back in a little while. Until then, why don't you read my health care plan? It's fascinating. Goodbye, Sheriff.
Excuse me, Sheriff. Did I startle you? I was choosing some calico when you walked in. Have you been busy? I'm not surprised. This town is growing more scared by the minute. Having second thoughts about your new position? It must be hard to uphold the law when one has spent his life breaking it. But I am smart, like you, and I've discovered you're not exactly a paragon from the scriptures. Are you, Sheriff? I know about your outlaw past, how you rode with Jeb Stuart and fought with the Comanches. And I'm allowed my secrets, too. Meet me tonight in the cemetery. Ring the mission bells and I'll appear. Goodbye.
Well, well, if it isn't the new County Joe. Howdy, Sheriff. Keeping the peace? You know, Sheriff, you might pick up a pen someday. You've got the right attribute to be a journalist. A whole lot of lip. Because God gave me the capacity for drink, a clean shirt, and the ability to spell. Nice work on those belchers. Miserable cretins. No loss at all, no sir. What's next? Figured out why Purvis shot the Grangers? Who can say? 2 weeks ago he told Cocky Hipshires he found a lost mine. Devil's Belch or some such fool nonsense. Nick Taggart, over on the Hidalgo Road. Purvis screaming that Sonoma had the key, and that he was going to go to hell to find it. Heard you were talking to her, Sheriff. Always liked Sonoma. Uni are wise people. Their ways are ancient. I hope you know what you're getting into. Okay, I'm thirsty. See you around, Sheriff.
Afternoon. Sheriff, I'm very excited. They arrived from E. Whitehead and Sons in Chicago. Brass coffin handles, the very finest. First class. Sheriff, you're going to rest in the best, I assure you. But I'm short on everything. Gravestones, shrouds, embalming fluid. Thanks. Working on old Cobb Belcher drained me of my last drop. He was a big boy, and in this heat, they go bad pretty fast. Now let me give you something to chew on. Red Jack parrot seed. I peck at it all day. Ha 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 ha. Good day.
Ah, Sheriff. Are you doing your job? Keeping Diamondback safe? There's been talk about the kid. He's been sighted nearby. I hope you're taking the proper precautions if he comes here. I don't know. You're the sheriff. Defend the town, for Christ's sake. I've heard about you and your Injun sympathies. Don't think you haven't been investigated. My wife thinks you're rather, morally suspect. Normally, I have no trouble with that. But she says the Indians like you. Thank the cavalry for moving ours to Arizona. turn a lot of them into productive, law-abiding citizens. I've cooked up the deal of the century with Clark and Rothwell, the mining firm, and their agent, Radisson Bloodstone. I'm going to be the pyrite king of the West. But what I don't want is you running around stirring up trouble. It upsets folks. Understand? Perform the job the taxpayers expect of you. And if the kid shows up, jot down the address of your next of kin. So long, Sheriff, and leave that address where I can find it. By Jove! How'd you get your mitts on that? Never mind, never mind. Glad to take it.
You can go on back, Sheriff. He's asking for you.
Thanks, Sheriff. Thanks for helping me picking up my wits. I don't know why, but whenever I got to recollecting about my dead wife, all I did was get real blue. I played her flute, made me feel better. I like to think I was with her, wherever she's reposing. But Mesa, she's gone forever. I see that now. Sometimes a death's a hard thing to accept. But I'll always have her now with me. So, Sheriff, I want you to take this here flute. I don't need it no more. Now I'm going to do some thinking where I do it best, on my horse. Goodbye, Sheriff.
Sheriff, I won't forget how you helped Nate. You're a four-square, straight shooter. Pity I wasn't a loose woman when you limped into town. Come on, Sheriff. Get now, before I'm liable to do something I'd regret.
Twilight and a diamondback's mood grew blacker. An exiled Jackalope Jones pondered the waxing moon. Trouble he knew was on the way. For Una Canute it was already here. Bounty hunters were coming for Mez, a man she much admired. And at the mayor's they dragged down the trunks from the attic. The kid would be in town tomorrow, so Marie would be leaving tonight, after the mayor's deal was done.